Have you ever stopped to think that a simple ringing in the ear could be something much deeper than a mere annoyance? What if I told you that for many spiritual traditions, this ringing can be a sign, a message from the universe, or even a call to a new phase in your life? In this video, we'll explore the secret spiritual meanings of ringing in the ears, those details that no one has ever told you. We'll explore the various interpretations and symbologies attributed to this phenomenon in different cultures and spiritual practices around the world. Welcome to the Eye of the Soul channel. Throughout history, ringing in the ears has been interpreted in different ways by cultures around the world, often carrying a deep, spiritual meaning. This perception is not merely coincidence or superstition, but a reflection of the human connection with the universe and the mystical. In some traditions, this humming is seen as an omen, a sign that precedes significant events, both personal and collective. It can be interpreted as a divine message, a form of communication between the earthly and spiritual planes. This highlights a common belief that we are not isolated in our physical experience, but are constantly in dialogue with a wider spiritual reality. For other cultures, humming can indicate the presence of spiritual entities trying to establish contact. This phenomenon suggests that our physical senses, although limited, are capable of perceiving manifestations from other dimensions when we are open and attentive. This interpretation of sounds as messages from beyond reflects the worldview of these cultures, where the physical and the spiritual are intertwined, and communication between these two planes is possible through signs and symbols, such as ringing in the ears. By recognizing these signs, individuals can feel guided, comforted, or even warned about aspects of their lives or their spiritual development. The idea that ringing in the ears can be a form of spiritual communication transcends cultural boundaries, finding resonance in various traditions around the world. This perception is anchored in the belief that we are not alone in the universe and that there are entities in dimensions beyond our physical and material understanding, such as angels and spirits, who seek to guide us, protect us, and communicate messages of deep meaning. When we experience tinnitus without an apparent physical cause, some interpretations suggest that we are receiving signals or messages from these entities. This can happen in moments of silence, meditation, or even during daily activities. The nature of these messages varies widely. They can be guidance, warnings, comfort, or simply the reassuring presence of these entities, letting us know that we are not alone. For many, this communication is a reminder of our connection with the universe and the spiritual dimensions. Opening up to this possibility requires a receptive mind and an open heart, characteristics that allow for greater attunement with vibrations beyond our physical plane. Interpreting and understanding these messages can be challenging, as they require a developed spiritual sensitivity. Meditation and spiritual practices can help refine our inner perceptions, allowing us to better interpret these signals. In addition, a centered and balanced state of being is essential, as spiritual clarity is essential for discerning between the various influences and messages we can receive. This dialogue between planes suggests that our existence is much richer and more complex than we realize on a daily basis. The ringing in the ears, seen in this light, is transformed from a mere physical nuisance into an invitation to spiritual growth and the expansion of consciousness. It's a call to listen more carefully, not just with our ears, but with our heart and soul, exploring the depths of our existence and the universe. Dolores Cannon, a renowned therapist and researcher in the field of hypnotherapy, has dedicated much of her life to exploring the mysteries of the human mind and its connections with the spiritual and the cosmic. On her journey, she came across fascinating phenomena, including ringing in the ears, which she interpreted not just as a physical phenomenon, but as a manifestation of spiritual frequencies. Cannon thoroughly investigated the experiences of her patients under hypnosis, many of whom reported hearing sounds or ringing that they interpreted as forms of communication from other dimensions or from spiritual entities. These consistent accounts led Cannon to seriously consider the idea that such sound experiences are not random or meaningless, but carry important messages for the individual or for humanity as a whole. Through his regressive hypnotherapy sessions, Cannon has had the opportunity to explore not only his patients' past lives, but also their connections to ancestral knowledge and extraterrestrial civilizations. In this context, ringing in the ears is often interpreted as a sign of spiritual awakening, or as a call to pay attention to important messages coming from these higher realms. Cannon suggests that these spiritual frequencies may be a request to expand our consciousness, deepen our understanding of the universe and our own spiritual essence. She emphasizes the importance of being open and receptive to these messages, suggesting that by doing so, we can access deeper levels of wisdom and knowledge. Cannon's approach highlights the connection between the physical and the metaphysical, suggesting that phenomena such as ringing in the ears are bridges between these worlds, offering insights and revelations that can guide us on our spiritual journey and evolution. Ringing in the ears, often perceived as an intriguing or even disturbing phenomenon, can carry a much deeper meaning than we realize. In the spiritual journey, this phenomenon can be interpreted as a call to pay attention to something important that is happening in our life, or as a warning about something that needs our immediate attention. Spiritual awakening, a process in which consciousness expands and begins to perceive reality beyond the limits of the physical and material self, can be accompanied by various signs and symptoms, including ringing in the ears. This sound, which seems to have no external source, is interpreted by many as the beginning of a new spiritual perception, where the barriers between the physical and the spiritual begin to dissolve. On the other hand, tinnitus can also serve as a warning. In some interpretations, it alerts us to the need for changes in our lives or attitudes. It can signal the presence of unbalanced energies or the need to move away from negative environments or situations. In this sense, it acts as a warning to reevaluate our choices and paths, encouraging positive changes. Understanding ringing in the ears from these perspectives requires an openness to self-knowledge and a willingness to listen, not just with the physical ears, but with the heart and soul. The interpretation of these signals can vary from person to person, reflecting each person's spiritual state and individual needs. When we encounter ringing in the ears, we are invited to pause, reflect, and tune into our intuition, trying to understand what this phenomenon is trying to communicate to us. In this process of listening and interpreting, we can find guidance, comfort, and valuable insights for our spiritual journey. Each individual's spiritual journey is profoundly influenced by the intensity of the spiritual energy with which they connect. This subtle and powerful energy permeates every aspect of existence, influencing not only our state of mind, but also the circumstances and outcomes we attract into our lives. Understanding and managing this energy is important for anyone seeking a path of evolution and spiritual awakening. When we talk about spiritual energy, we are referring to a vital force that transcends physical matter, connecting us to the universe and its infinite possibilities. This energy is present in everything and everyone, and its intensity can vary significantly from person to person and from moment to moment. It is this variation in intensity that can influence the likelihood of achieving favorable results on our journey. One of the signs that we are attuned to a high intensity of spiritual energy is the occurrence of phenomena, such as ringing in the ears, interpreted as a physical manifestation of this deep connection. This phenomenon can be an indication that we are in a process of spiritual awakening, a moment when our sensitivity to the subtle energies around us intensifies. This awakening can lead us to experience significant changes in our perception of the world, our relationships, and the way we live. The moment we open up to this energy, we become more able to perceive synchronicities, receive intuitive guidance, and manifest what we want in our reality. In this sense, the intensity of spiritual energy acts as a catalyst for our personal and spiritual development and success. However, it is important to note that managing this energy requires responsibility and awareness. Excess energy, without the proper balance, can lead to states of confusion or emotional imbalance. Similarly, too little energy can result in apathy or a lack of direction. Finding and maintaining this balance is fundamental to a healthy and beneficial spiritual journey. Cultivating practices that help to balance and intensify spiritual energy, such as meditation, prayer, energy practices, and contact with nature, is essential for those seeking to evolve on their journey. In doing so, we pave the way for a full spiritual awakening, where connection with the divine and the manifestation of a reality aligned with our highest values become possible. In our quest for spiritual growth and understanding, it is essential to recognize the importance of balancing the efforts dedicated to our spiritual evolution with taking care of our physical and mental well-being. The ringing in the ears also tells us to pay attention to the way we are conducting our energy and health. Self-care in this context goes beyond simply maintaining physical health. It encompasses proper nutrition, rest, physical activity, and just as importantly, mental and emotional health. These elements are fundamental to creating a harmonious internal environment that is receptive to spiritual messages and energies. When we neglect self-care, we can become less sensitive to the nuances of these communications, or even misinterpret them. The practice of self-care allows us to maintain the balance needed to face the challenges inherent in the process of spiritual awakening. This balance is important because awakening often entails profound changes in our perception of the world, relationships, and self-image. These transformations, although enriching, can be challenging and without proper care, lead to physical and emotional exhaustion. In addition, conscious self-care can be seen as a way of honoring oneself and one's spiritual path. It reflects the understanding that our physical body is the temple of our soul, an instrument for our expression and experience in the material world. Caring for this temple with love and respect allows our energy to flow in a freer and more aligned way, making it easier to connect with the spiritual dimensions and understand the signals sent out, such as the ringing in the ears. Incorporating self-care practices into our routine not only benefits our general health, but also deepens our spiritual connection. Yoga, creative hobbies, and moments of reflection are examples of activities that nourish both body and soul, helping to maintain the balance needed for a healthy spiritual journey. The phenomenon of ringing in the ears, often seen as a simple physical nuisance, can actually signal a profound spiritual transformation and an increased sensitivity to our inner guidance. This perspective reflects us to consider tinnitus not just as a sensory experience, but as a reflection of changes in the spiritual energy that surrounds and inhabits us. When we develop spiritually, our vibrational energy tends to rise, aligning us more closely with the higher frequencies of the universe. This alignment can cause various physical and sensory manifestations, including ringing in the ears. This experience can indicate that we are becoming more receptive and sensitive to subtle energies and the messages they carry. This increased sensitivity can be particularly evident in the way we come to perceive and interpret our intuition and inner guidance. As the barrier between the conscious and the subconscious becomes more permeable, our ability to access deep insights and intuitive guidance expands. Buzzing in this context can be understood as a sign that we are open and ready to receive these messages, encouraging us to pay more attention to our inner world. It's important to recognize that this greater sensitivity requires care and attention. Just as it enhances our connection with the spiritual, it can also make us more vulnerable to unbalanced energies and influences. Cultivating energy protection and cleansing practices, such as visualization and the use of crystals or other natural elements, can be beneficial in keeping our energy in balance and harmony. In addition, this process of transformation and increased spiritual sensitivity can encourage us to seek out environments and relationships that reflect and support our new energetic vibration. This can involve significant changes in our lifestyle, choices, and interactions as we seek to align our outer existence with our inner truth. Spiritual awakening represents a fundamental turning point in every being's journey, marking the beginning of a deeper understanding of reality, of oneself, and of the universe. This process, although deeply enriching, can also be challenging, as it involves a series of internal and external changes that affect every aspect of a person's life. One of the main lessons of spiritual awakening is the realization that physical well-being and spiritual well-being are inseparable and of equal importance. Physical, emotional, and spiritual health are deeply interconnected, influencing each other in significant ways. Thus, when we advance on our spiritual journey, it becomes essential to cultivate practices that nourish both body and spirit. During spiritual awakening, many people experience an expansion of consciousness, accompanied by phenomena such as ringing in the ears, visions, heightened intuitions, and an increased sensitivity to the energies around them. These experiences, while validating spiritual expansion, also highlight the need for a strong physical and emotional foundation if they are to be integrated in a healthy way. Taking care of the body through a balanced diet, physical exercise, and adequate rest provides the energy and vitality needed to withstand internal changes and facilitate the process of spiritual growth. At the same time, practices such as spiritual study and involvement in supportive communities provide nourishment for the soul, allowing for a deeper exploration of one's own essence and the mystery that surrounds us. This balance between physical care and spiritual development allows for a smoother and more enriching transition through the awakening process. It provides a solid foundation on which to build our understanding and experience of the spiritual, ensuring that we remain grounded and centered, even in the face of the most profound revelations and transformations. Ringing in the ears, often interpreted as a simple hearing disorder, can actually be a sign that we are being called to connect with higher vibrations and align ourselves with new spiritual dimensions. This phenomenon can serve to expand our consciousness and explore aspects of reality that go beyond our everyday understanding. This connection with higher vibrations is a fundamental aspect of spiritual growth. Higher vibrations refer to energy states that are more refined and of a higher frequency than those we normally interact with on the physical plane. These higher frequencies are associated with qualities such as unconditional love, compassion, peace, and a deep sense of oneness with all that exists. By tuning into these vibrations, we begin a process of alignment with higher spiritual dimensions. This alignment can manifest in various ways, including an increase in intuition, expanded perceptions of reality, experiences of synchronicity, and a greater ease in manifesting our desires and intentions. Ringing in the ears can be a physical manifestation of this alignment process, indicating that we are open and receptive to these higher energies. In order to cultivate a deeper connection with higher vibrations, it is essential to dedicate time to spiritual development through the aforementioned practices, spiritual teachings, and engaging in activities that nourish the soul. These practices help to raise our vibrational frequency, making us more aligned with the spiritual dimensions we wish to explore. In addition, it is important to be aware of the influences in our lives that can lower our vibration, such as stress, negative thoughts, environmental toxins, and disharmonious relationships. By striving to create a living environment that supports our physical, emotional, and spiritual health, we facilitate our access to higher vibrations and the vast field of possibilities they offer. Ringing in the ears can indicate an intensification of psychic abilities and greater attunement with the spiritual. This phenomenon can be an indication that we are becoming more receptive to our innate abilities to perceive beyond the conventional five senses. The moment we develop this deeper attunement with the spiritual, we may begin to notice a series of changes in our perception and awareness. This can include the development of stronger intuitions, an increased ability to perceive or feel the presence of spiritual entities, or even the reception of messages or visions that transcend the ordinary. This expansion of psychic abilities is closely linked to the process of integrating and balancing the chakras, the energetic centers of the body that regulate the flow of vital energy through our being. When the chakras are balanced and aligned, they facilitate a greater flow of energy, allowing us to connect more easily with the spiritual dimensions and with the psychic abilities inherent in us. Chakra integration not only promotes better physical and emotional health, but also paves the way for profound spiritual transformation. When we become more internally aligned, our ability to tune into higher frequencies of consciousness expands, allowing us to access information and wisdom that was previously out of our reach. Cultivating practices that promote chakra balance, such as chakra-specific meditation, yoga, crystal therapies, or conscious breathing practices, can be extremely beneficial for those who wish to explore their psychic abilities and develop a deeper connection with the spiritual. These practices help to unblock and harmonize the chakras, creating a clearer channel for spiritual communication and psychic development. Ringing in the ears can also be a precursor to the awakening of the third eye, symbolizing the beginning of a journey towards the development of psychic abilities. Located in the frontal chakra region, between the eyebrows, the third eye is associated with intuition, clairvoyance, and spiritual perception. Its awakening marks a significant expansion of consciousness, allowing us to access information and realities that go beyond the limits of the physical senses. This awakening process is neither simple nor immediate. It represents a profound transformation that can change the way we see and interact with the world. When the third eye opens, we can begin to experience heightened sensitivity, extrasensory perceptions, and even visions or insights into profound questions about life and the universe. The ringing in the ears in this context can be interpreted as a physical manifestation of the energy moving and expanding within our energy field, signaling that we are ready to start exploring these new capacities. Developing these psychic abilities, in turn, requires dedication and practice. Mindfulness practices, visualization exercises, and the study of spiritual philosophies and teachings can all be valuable tools on this journey. These practices help to fine-tune our attunement to the subtle energies and cultivate fertile ground for our innate abilities to flourish. Furthermore, it is important to approach this process with an open mind and a pure heart. The awakening of the third eye and the development of psychic abilities should be aimed at personal growth and collective well-being, never used for selfish gain or manipulation. By keeping our intentions aligned with high values, we ensure that the path we travel is both enriching and ethical. The ringing in the ears, often perceived as a sign of change or spiritual awakening, offers a unique opportunity to reevaluate our lives and let go of what no longer serves us. Letting go of unnecessary weight is not just a matter of making space in our lives for new experiences. It is also an act of liberation that allows us to breathe more freely and move more easily on our spiritual path. This can include letting go of old hurts, overcoming fears, and breaking ties with situations or people who drain our energy. When we begin this process of internal cleansing, we can start to design a new spiritual path that more authentically reflects who we are and what we wish to manifest in our existence. This new path can be characterized by a greater clarity of purpose, a deeper connection with the spiritual, and a renewed commitment to personal growth and transformation. This process, although it can be challenging, is also deeply liberating and enriching. It teaches us to value our own voice and intuition, encouraging us to make decisions that are in harmony with our inner truth. In doing so, we make room for new possibilities and enriching experiences to enter our lives, allowing us to evolve in ways that might previously have seemed unimaginable. The ringing in our ears can actually be a subtle warning about the presence of negativity in our lives, inviting us to deep reflection and action. This peculiar sound can be understood as a signal for us to pay attention to those aspects of our life that need healing, transformation, or simply a new approach. The presence of negativity is not only limited to external influences, such as interpersonal conflicts or toxic environments. It can also refer to internal patterns of negative thinking, limiting beliefs, and repressed emotions that affect our mental health and emotional well-being. The tinnitus can arise to make us realize that it's time to face these inner shadows, promoting a cleansing and purification of our vital energy. Expanding our perception and deepening our self-knowledge are fundamental to this process. By becoming more aware of our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, we gain the ability to identify what unbalances us and takes us away from our essence. This expanded awareness allows us to approach negativity with greater understanding and compassion, facilitating the process of transformation. Self-knowledge is not a destination, but a continuous journey of discovery and growth. It involves both accepting our shadows and recognizing our lights, allowing us to integrate all aspects of our being. On this path, we learn to transmute negative energies into valuable life lessons, strengthening our resilience and ability to manifest a reality aligned with our highest values. Ringing in the ears can also be one of the most intriguing signs of the awakening of Kundalini. a powerful and transformative energy that lies dormant at the base of every human being's spine. Known in spiritual traditions, especially within the context of Hinduism and yoga, Kundalini is often described as a coiled serpent that, once awakened, ascends through the chakras, the body's energy centers, until it reaches the crown chakra at the top of the head, promoting a profound transformation of consciousness. This awakening process can be triggered by a variety of spiritual practices, such as meditation, pranayama, which are breathing exercises, the practice of asanas, which are yoga postures, or even by intense or traumatic life events. Ringing in the ears is just one of the many physical symptoms that can accompany this awakening, along with sensations of heat or energy running up the spine, mystical visions, experiences of ecstasy, and an intense feeling of connection with the divine. The journey of Kundalini awakening is deeply personal and varies from individual to individual. While some may experience a gentle and gradual awakening, others may go through a more tumultuous process, facing emotional and physical challenges as old wounds and blockages are brought to the surface to be healed. It is essential to approach the Kundalini awakening process with respect and care, seeking guidance and support from experienced practitioners if necessary. Preparing the body and mind through regular spiritual practices and a balanced lifestyle can facilitate a smoother and more enriching transition. The awakening of Kundalini is not just a physical or energetic phenomenon. It is also a profound spiritual journey that invites us to explore the deepest aspects of our existence. Along this path, we are called to release limiting patterns of thought and behavior and accept our true divine nature. Ringing in the ears, in addition to its possible physical and spiritual implications, can be interpreted as a call to attention and awareness. This phenomenon can serve as a reminder that it's time to slow down, pay attention to the present moment, and reevaluate our lives. Amid the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it's easy to get lost in worries, future plans, and reminiscences of the past, neglecting the richness and depth of the now. This wake-up call can also encourage introspection and self-reflection, opening up paths to deeper self-knowledge. By taking the time to reflect on our beliefs, values, dreams, and fears, we begin to better understand our own patterns of thought and behavior. This understanding can reveal areas of our life that may need changing or improving, allowing us to make decisions that are more in line with who we truly are and want to be. Self-reflection is a powerful practice that can lead to significant insights into our identity, purpose, and direction in life. It encourages us to question: are we living according to our deepest values? Do our actions reflect who we aspire to be? How can we live in a more authentic and fulfilled way? By contemplating these questions, we can discover new possibilities for personal and spiritual growth. In addition, this process of introspection can help us cultivate greater empathy and understanding for others, once we recognize the complexity of our own experiences and emotions. This can lead us to approach relationships with more compassion, patience, and openness, enriching our connections with others. The ringing in the ears, often enigmatic and intriguing, can be interpreted as a sign of communication with spiritual guides. This insight suggests that we are not alone in our journey through life. There is assistance available to us from dimensions that transcend our everyday understanding. Spirit guides, who can be understood as beings of light, angels, or spiritual entities dedicated to helping us, use a variety of methods to communicate, and ringing in the ears is one of them. This phenomenon can appear at times of indecision, change, or challenge, showing us that guidance is within our reach. The presence of ringing encourages us to tune into our intuition and trust our ability to make important choices. Communicating with spirit guides through ringing in the ears can also inspire a sense of peace and security, reminding us that we are supported and loved, even in the most challenging of times. Developing a conscious relationship with our spirit guides takes practice and patience. The ringing in the ears can be a subtle invitation to reconnect with our essence and reflect on the way we welcome and honor ourselves on our life journey. This often mysterious phenomenon reminds us of the importance of valuing our individual journey, with all its unique experiences, learnings, and challenges. Honoring oneself means recognizing and accepting our true nature, with all our strengths, weaknesses, achievements, and failures. It involves treating ourselves with compassion and kindness, respecting our limits and needs, and celebrating our victories, however small they may be. This act of self-acceptance encourages us to live more authentically and in line with our deepest values. Accepting yourself also involves being open to the infinite possibilities that life offers, being willing to explore new paths and learn from each experience. It means understanding that we are constantly evolving beings, and that every moment of our lives contributes to our personal growth and development. Life is full of ups and downs, and learning to embrace this duality with acceptance and resilience is fundamental to our emotional and spiritual well-being. Recognizing the value of our experiences, including those that challenge us, allows us to extract valuable lessons and strengthen our ability to face adversity. Living with purpose means understanding and accepting the deeper meaning of our existence. It involves identifying our passions, talents, and what truly moves us, directing our actions in a way that reflects these values and aspirations. When we live with purpose, every choice and every moment takes on a richer and more satisfying dimension, because they are aligned with what we consider essential. Connection, both with ourselves and with others and the world around us, is fundamental to a rich and meaningful life. Establishing authentic connections allows us to share experiences, learn from different perspectives, and feel a sense of belonging and community. By strengthening our relationships and our connection with nature, we become more aware of the interdependence of all things, cultivating greater empathy and compassion. Living life wisely means using our experiences, knowledge, and intuition to make choices that are beneficial in the long term. It involves recognizing the impermanence of all things and learning to flow with change, accepting what we cannot control, and focusing our energy on what is within our reach. Therefore, ringing in the ears can be seen as a reminder to reevaluate our way of living, encouraging us to seek a more conscious, fulfilling, and connected path. By adopting this perspective, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute positively to the world around us, spreading waves of positivity and transformation. Have you had significant experiences with ringing in the ears? How have these effects affected your spiritual journey? Share your stories and reflections in the comments. This exchange of experiences can be a source of inspiration and encouragement for all of us in our search for a deeper connection with the spiritual. Thank you for making it this far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you feel the tips and insights were inspiring. Remember, what you give out, you get. See you next time.